All right, so now if you've been studying the freight broker business or you've been in the business for a little while, you've probably heard of the term freight broker days to pay rating or freight broker's Paydex score. Now, these are two different rating systems that determine a business's overall credit worthiness. Now, one of these I'm really concerned about. I spend a lot of time working on it, making sure that I'm establishing the best rating possible. The other, I'm not as concerned about. So what I'm going to do in this video today is I'm going to take you in and I'm going to show you the difference between the days to pay rating and the Paydex score. I'm going to show you how it works and how it impacts your business and why one I pay a whole lot of attention to and the other one not so much. So come on inside, spend a few minutes with me, and I'll let you know exactly how it all works. So before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to a fellow freight broker, Jay Ford of Redbird Logistics. He gave me this topic, sent me over an email a couple of days ago, asking particularly about Dun & Bradstreet and the Paydex score. And what I decided to do was say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk to my entire network, not only about the Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score, but also about the freight broker days to pay rating, and hopefully clear up any loose ends that you may have out there about either of those topics. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. All right, so first up, let's talk about the Paydex score. And the Paydex score is nothing more than the business credit score. It ranges from 0 to 100, and the magic number is supposed to be 80. If you get to 80, then you're supposed to have access to business credit cards by major financial institutions. But now when it really boils down to it, it does not work that way. No financial institution just uses the Paydex score to determine whether or not you're granted credit. Your credit is determined based off of how long you've been in business, what type of income you have coming in, and of course, your personal credit. People think that you don't have to use your personal credit, or you can have bad personal credit and then to go out and get an above 80 Paydex score, and now you have all of these opportunities to get credit granted to you. And that's just not the case. What the Paydex score really unlocks is trade line vendors. And when you hear people talking about no personal guarantee business credit, they're not talking about business credit cards issued by banks. What they're talking about is Lowe's, Home Depot, or gas cards. So for me and my business, a Paydex score is irrelevant. I don't even know what my Paydex score is, but that doesn't stop me from getting credit for major banking institutions. You see, I believe that the best way to build credit is not about going out and paying $1,200, $1,500 to build a Paydex score. No. The best way to build business credit is to go out and secure credit and do what you say you're going to do. Pay it, and pay it on time or pay it ahead of time, and you'll build your business credit. Not by a Paydex score. Now, in contrast to the Paydex score, something that I'm always thinking about, always at the forefront of my mind, is my days to pay rating. Because as a freight broker, a trucking company or a trucking company's factoring company will be extending me short-term credit. In order to extend that short-term credit, they're going to check my days to pay rating out. If my days to pay rating is 30 days or less, then I'm seen as a good candidate to provide credit to. But if you're not, then you're very likely not going to be granted credit by a factoring company or by a trucking company. So we want to make sure that we're paying particular attention to the days to pay rating. Now, when you have a factoring company, that's kind of out of your hands exactly when your truckers are going to get paid. So you are going to want to make sure you have some checks and balances in place. You're going to make sure that you're giving your factoring company a call to make sure that your carriers are being paid and being paid on time, because it could impact your days to pay rating. And we always want to keep our days to pay rating within the 30-day window. And remember this, your days to pay rating is a part of your overall credit. So when a creditor like the factoring company goes and checks your credit, they're going to see your days to pay rating, and they're going to pay attention to that. Your days to pay rating just says it takes your company X amount of days to pay its invoices. As long as that's under 30 days, you're considered more favorable than someone that extends past that 30-day window. So now, how do you build your credit? If you're in credit building mode, and you're with the truck stop load board, every 90 days, they're going to send you a credit reference sheet. What they're saying is, okay, Brandon over at Alliance Logistics, for the last 90 days, how many loads have you moved? What trucking companies have you moved those loads with? You're going to put your trucking company's information on that credit reference sheet and then send it back to truck stop. Truck Stop will then start to reach out to those carriers to find out, number one, did Alliance Logistics pay this invoice? Number two, how long did it take them to pay the invoice? What they're doing is establishing your days to pay rating. So we want to pay particular attention to those credit reference sheets, get them filled out, send them back to Truck Stop so you can start to get your credit established and your days to pay rating established. Both are very important to you moving loads. If you don't have good credit, if you don't have a favorable days to pay rating, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to get loads moved when you first get started without established credit. Now, we all start at that point where we don't have credit. So we have to get to the point where we have decent credit so that factoring companies will approve us, so we can move our loads with carriers and not have to worry about getting disapproved. So at the end of the day, as I was telling you earlier, I am not at all concerned about a Paydex score. I don't even know what our company's Paydex score is. I am more focused on building overall credit with factoring companies, with those trucking companies, because I know when I do that, I can get my loads moved. If I don't have solid credit, then it's going to be a little bit harder for me to get those loads moved until I build good credit. So that's where my focus is, establishing a good, solid days to pay rating. Now, I also want you to understand that as a business owner, I think we pay a whole lot of unnecessary attention to credit. Yes, we have to have credit as it pertains to factoring companies and trucking companies. Can't get by without it. Can't have a successful business if you don't have that type of credit. So we want to pay attention to the days to pay rating, to our overall credit as a brokerage when it comes down to paying carriers. But when it comes down to Paydex scores, when it comes down to getting credit with banks, that is not as important to me. Because number one, as a freight broker business, I don't need a whole lot of credit because it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It's less than $5,000 to come into this business, and it has minimal operational costs. A new freight broker business usually costs less than $1,000 per month to operate. The second thing that I don't think most people look at is that loans all have one thing in common. Do you know what that is? They all have to be repaid, and I have not seen a business loan yet, a business credit card, that does not come with interest. So they have to be repaid, and they have to be repaid with interest. The thinking is that I'm going to go out and get a loan, and then I'm going to take that loan and make more money. Unfortunately, most business owners that go out and get money, borrow money, end up borrowing that money and paying it back without having made any money with that money. So they're spending their own money to pay back that loan. So we are not the type of business that's focused on loans. We are more focused on productivity. Productivity trumps loans any day. So the one thing that I want to implore you to do today is to focus your time, your energy, and your effort on productivity as a business, not on credit. If you focus on productivity, the credit will take care of itself. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'm going to leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a look into the freight broker business, allow for you to see me in my office, moving freight, talking to shippers, talking to carriers. That way you can get a really good idea of exactly how the business works before you come into it. And just in case you're curious about how the load board works, I'll leave you a free link that walks you through the load board step by step. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.